Hello, Vanessa Webb, Stampin Up Demonstrator Australia here. Today we're going to be putting together this card made with the Ornate Garden Suite, and I'm going to be using the two different sets of dies plus one set of the stamps. So there is an image set and a greeting set in this suite bundle, and it's available right now. It's actually a pre-release for the new catalogue. So the Ornate Thanks stamp set has a lot of different greetings in it. There's actually 19 stamps in it. You can use the larger ones by themselves, or you can create your own greeting with any of the combinations together with the small and the large greetings together. So I'm going to be just grabbing this one, and I've popped that on my block. But to start off with, we've got an A4 sheet of cardstock, which I've used my paper trimmer and cut that just down lengthways to create a card which opens that way. And I am just going to adhere my paper to the card to start off with. This Ornate Garden Specialty Designer Series paper is just beautiful, and you'll find that a lot of the different papers coordinate with so many different colours. There is actually a list of all the colours that's used, so you can look that up on my website, where you'll be able to see all the products as well. But there is definitely some Daffodil Delight, there's Pepperzazz, Old Olive, and a couple of other colours as well. I'm actually using slightly different background to my original card. I loved this one so much that I've used it all up, and I've just ordered some more of the papers. So the good thing is we can keep ordering from this suite if we run out of any of the embellishments or the ribbons or the paper. And we can order that right now, so that's exciting. All right, so we've got the paper down. Now I'm going to show you some of the dies that I've used for this card. I've used it from the two different sets. One is the Ornate Layers dies, and they are like a whole set of frames. I'll just show you really quickly. You get lots and lots of different frames. You get some larger ones. You actually get ones that even will fit on a whole card front. And plus you get ones that make like a little broderie anglaise lace effect on your cardstock. So without cutting anything out, it will just make a pattern of little holes, little lacework holes in your cardstock. Now the thing about these is that they fit with these stitched rectangles framelets, and so I have actually pre-cut a piece from the stitched rectangles framelets using one of those shapes, and I fitted it into this frame that we're using. So the layers will coordinate with your stitched rectangles framelets dies, as well as a couple of other dies that you might have in your stash already. Now when you've cut your Ornate Layers frame, you'll need to just make sure with your die cut mat, your foam mat, that you get all the little bits out of the die that might be there. So that's what your take your pick tool is for. So you can either use your brush, or you can use the paper piercing attachment on the other end. So just make sure you get all of those little bits out. I'm not sure if you guys can see that very well because it's against the black. And this will give you a really, really nice effect once you've put your layers onto the card. You'll see all that gorgeous detail. You don't want to miss it, because these dies really are absolutely gorgeous, and they look stunning on the top of the paper. And see how you can still see all that lovely detail. So you just want to make sure you get all of that out. And same when you're cutting the Ornate Borders die. So this is the die that I've used to create some of the embellishments on my card. Let me bring the card in again. You can see how I've just used some of these flowers created from this border die. So we're actually just going to cut a few of these out to put on our project. We're not using the whole strip, and we're not using it as a strip. So again, you want to just make sure you get all of the detail out of this die once you've cut it. Obviously I've pre-cut mine today, and and using that paper piercer to get all the extra bits out. So again, you'll be able to see all that lovely detail, and you're going to be cutting around some of these flowers. So I'm just going to get my paper snips. You will probably have enough for about 2 cards on this from this strip, and yeah, you just want to grab your paper snips so that you can cut. Oh, sorry, I'll pop mine over here for a sec. So just grab your paper snips, and you're going to cut around some of these flowers. So just work out, we actually want to grab this one here, so I'm just going to cut, leaving a little bit of a frame around the leaves as I go. Just neaten that up a little bit. And then we're just going to go around piece frame. So you want to just cut where the flowers are to create a flower that's sort of self-contained. And we're going to get a couple of those from the strip that we've cut with the big shot. So I'll come in here again, and I'll just grab this one again, and I'm going to get some more of those little bits of yellow cardstock out where the holes are, so you'll see a little bit more of that detail as well. So just bring it round and grab that leaf. So basically what you're going to do is line these up, and you're going to use them on your card like that. We'll put that spare one to the side. I'll just get rid of some of these. And I'll get some of these little bits out as well. So when you've cut your flowers out, yeah, you'll need to make sure that you get all these little bits out so you can see the detail, especially once it's on your project. Alrighty, so there they are. Okay. So the next bit that we're going to do is a little bit of embossing. We'll just set those to the side for a second. And we're going to emboss the greeting onto some of this gorgeous vellum. Now this is the Floral Essence Designer Series vellum cardstock. Sorry, it's vellum cardstock, not Designer Series. But it comes in the 3 colours. And this actually coordinates beautifully with the colours in these papers. So we actually have the light pink colour, and also the So Saffron colour, and they will coordinate with the colours in the papers too. But I found this one was really, really striking against the yellow. So I wanted to use the Old Olive vellum. And as always, this is a tool that I use when I am embossing anything, and it's another thing that is retiring from our catalogue. So if you don't have a spare one of these embossing buddies, or even if you don't have an embossing buddy full stop, make sure you get one before they retire. I find them invaluable, and every time I go to emboss, I just naturally grab it. It will stop any of the powder, the embossing powder that you're using, from going outside the section where you've stamped. So I'm just using some Versamark ink, and I'll get that really inked up very well. And you just want to place that right over the top. I'm using my clear block to sort of see through, and also the grid paper to help me line that up. There we go. And I'll also pop a little bit of powder from the embossing buddy inside my card, and that will act as a tray. So I'm just going to pop that in there, and I'll apply the white Stampin' Emboss powder to that. So I've got my heat tool, and I think I remembered to plug it in this time. Last time I was doing a video, I forgot to plug it in, so I had to use the one I prepared earlier. There you go. So there's the greeting with the powder, and see how easy it is to just pop it back in your pot if you use your card base as a little tray. Super easy. All right, let me pop the lid on that. And I'm going to grab my heat tool. I should also grab my tweezers, but I'm going to try this without. Let me just grab the end. I do one end at a time. I shouldn't burn my fingers. See how we go.